Bonsoir, guten Abend, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. I work very obviously with Adobe, but I wanted to thank Dalet for a wonderful partnership. This has been a great thing for both companies for the last 8 years. Dalet, as a matter of fact, has been an early believer in Premiere becoming an important player in the broadcast market. So it was one of the first integrations into our APIs, SDKs that we built something like 8-9 years ago to become a player in broadcast and film. It pretty much started all around Premiere Pro, and we've had several evolutions of the integration since. So the Extend panel really gives you access to about anything that you'd ever need to see from the Dalet ecosystem. And it's a smooth integration that makes you really forget that there is a native way of bringing anything into Premiere Pro or to do the rendering any place else, but within the Dalet framework. I'm really proud to announce that we've got this ready now here at the show. It's ready to ship. So it's actually not an announcement, it's a release. As previously mentioned, we now have Dalet Extend integration for Adobe Audition. This pretty much has come about because people have done it the wrong way, in a way, manually, and that meant dropping audio files into Audition manually from the Dalet ecosystem, losing a ton of valuable information, mostly metadata for sure, but also with no easy way to bring anything back without any manual intervention. Now it's as deeply integrated as Premiere Pro. Think of it as much the same if you're already using both products, Premiere and Dalet Extend. Think of this as the equivalent for Audition, but obviously it has very broad reach just outside of the combination of the products. Premiere and Audition obviously can be used in a video-centric workflow, but we think of this being fantastic for everyone who's got also radio stations. It's great for everyone. Online has been mentioned earlier. It's great for everyone who's doing podcasts, as Audition is quite frankly the most fabulous product for that kind of work at any rate. So it deeply integrates, and we're happy to hear from you as to how we can actually go even further. If there's something missing here, let us know. What's really, truly important to this workflow, not only can you bring in audio files from the NAB backend, but it also accepts multi-track sessions. So anything that you'd ever want to do with Audition in terms of access to the things that Audition does, it's already there from the get-go with the 1.0. This slide should include a ton more, for example, the Audition logo, but this afternoon I decided to spend some time at the pool, so I will apologize for my laziness because the slide to the right also doesn't quite represent the market at this point, but I'll quickly mention that it's a global thing. This makes you think it's a French connection, but really it's not. However, these I put on first because I also want to thank the customer who were early believers in the combination of the two products, platform, and our products on Creative Cloud. TF1 and France Television certainly have such a wide deployment and deep integration. We're really thankful for the partnership. But SBS is another customer. Certainly Mediaset has been mentioned earlier. Bundesliga, pretty much all of the customer statements that you've seen here earlier. These are actually all based and centered around Premiere and Dalet workflows. What Adobe is doing here at the show is, if you ever get to our booth, largely interesting. If you wanted to see some of our amazing customers, and some of them might actually be in the room, if you present on our behalf, thank you. And if you want to see what they're doing with the products in the broader perspective, everything really from the most fantastic documentaries, shorts, all the way up to Hollywood movies, and obviously Nickelodeon is represented here as well. All of them are speaking on behalf at our booth. And something quite amazing from my perspective that we're releasing here at the show is ContentAware Fill for video. If you use Photoshop, and if you know how ContentAware Fill works for that product, think of it as being pretty much the same, but obviously it's a ton more complex than that, as removing that car isn't an easy thing to do, even for people who are actually deeply entrenched with After Effects. It's actually very time-consuming. This actually shows this is not demo for the sake of demo. This is the real deal. You just put a very loose mask around the object that you no longer want to see. Then you basically generate a fill layer for it, which is going to look at everything in its environment. So it generates the pixels that are required to make believe that there was never a car in that picture. It's going to come up in a minute. And it will play in a second as well. So it's gone. We're going to get rid of the mask. There you go. No car in the shot. This works for pretty much any object that you need to get out of the shot. It's pretty simple. It's empowering. It gets more users to use this kind of thing. Oh, now you see it, and now you don't. And that's pretty much it from me. Thanks for your attention. I'm around all evening, so if you want to talk to me about any of the new things or any of the things that you'd like to see better with the integration between our products, please hit me up at the bar. Thank you very much.